What's up, everyone? Jay Stoney here.
I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to do that again because I talked over it.
Hey, everyone. Jay Stoney here.
Umbrella leg.
And today we're going to talk about why some games just go unfinished, right?
There we go.
So some standard reasons, right, on why some games go unfinished is because A, the game's too long, I get bored, right?
Right. They look bad. Voice acting's bad. User interface sucks.
All the memories.
Those are my standard reasons for stopping a game.
Right. And so I came across two articles. One in which it talks about does it matter if games go unfinished? And another one talks about is it the stories, poor stories are the reason why games go unfinished.
Right.
So let's take, for example, fighters, right? Mortal Kombat X, right? I love that game personally. Mortal Kombat X has a story mode to it, right? But that's not really the main reason anyone goes to Mortal Kombat.
Right.
It's because of the fighting aspect of it, and also for the competitive scene that's behind it.
Right.
But how do you finish that?
Well, the way I finish it is I just want all the characters. I'm not that competitive, so I just want all the characters and their skins. And once I have that, I'm done. But for you, it's a little different.
Right. For me, it's about, not in the sake of finality, it's about, okay, I reached my cap personally, right? I finally reached my threshold. I think I can beat up at least my younger cousins. At least I can beat a couple people online that are not playing Scorpion because they're cheats and stuff like that. And then that's how I kind of see it, right? A certain threshold.
Right. So if you're going off of threshold based on how you finish a game, then what does that mean for RPGs? Where yes, there's a narrative, but it's also heavily driven by the level cap.
Right. So RPGs also have this narrative component
Right,
to
and they're
it.
usually fantastic. There are many great games out there that have a strong narrative component but go unfinished.
Right. For example, The Witcher 3, in my case, got a day of release. Loved it, right? I kind of stopped playing throughout the entire summer and got back into it last week. And I think now I'm probably at 9%.
Excellent.
Right? And it's because it's not, I mean, that world is very engrossing in the story, but I mean, in this, I don't think in Witcher 3 is a level cap. I should say maybe Dragon's Inquisition, right? There's a definite level cap. Or in games like Destiny, right? Which it stops. I believe the update with the Taken King stops at level 35 now.
Okay.
So I think that's level cap. But that's because Destiny falls between RPGs and shooters.
Right. But then now the question becomes up, what does ending a game mean for shooters? Which is a whole other slew of things.
Right. So Call of Duty, Battlefield, upcoming Star Wars Battlefront game, right? All will have, well, I don't believe Battlefront, but Battlefield and Call of Duty all have at least a narrative aspect to it.
Right, but no one cares about them at all. They're like, yeah, of course I finished it, but that's not why I'm playing the game.
Right. So it's about being better in rank than other people.
Prestige, having the different colored guns.
So how do you complete that? Once you get all the guns and all the perks, is that completing a shooter?
I would say yes, because I don't know what else you can do. But then, really, at that point, it's just all competitive aspects. But the way those games are based, it's purely on the online community.
Right.
And so if we're going off of online communities, what does that mean?
Right. For MMOs, per se, right?
Exactly.
So games like League of Legends, or Dota 2.
Wow. The
And
big one.
Right. Those MMOs, you don't finish. You just
Never
get
finish.
very, very good at it than other people.
Right, maybe finishing in that sense would be joining the teams that compete if you're in League, for instance. But for World of Warcraft, that's just the level cap thing. And in that that game in particular, it's definitely about amassing different kinds of weapons and armor. So I guess that's more like online RPG. But for League and Hearthstone, because it's on that whole, like, they've got you subscribed to them basically. Right. Every month you have to restart yourself, or every season you restart yourself. So how does that work?
Right. So from like the subscription type of games, right, that keep you hooked in, right? But other games that is not per se like subscribing, but it's more of you wait for the next installment to come out.
It's an episodic game.
Right. So Telltale games, for example.
And Life is Strange, for example, my favorite.
The Wolf Among Us, my favorite. Right. Those games come out with a new episode like every month.
For me, it's every 2 months.
Okay.
Per se.
Okay, so those kinds of games, they keep you hooked in because the first episode could take you about, I don't know, like 3-5 hours, right?
Yeah, 3 hours is it's the standard.
And you can get through them. There's been times, I remember getting Wolf Among Us episode 3, playing it for like 20 minutes the day of release, and then I finally had time, played it throughout the weekend, and then it just stopped. And I was just like, no. I finished too soon.
That's how I feel about Life is Strange. You play the games, you complete it one sitting, you get everything from it, and then it's out of your life, you can do other things. I relinquish myself to this series. And it totally, captures my attention. And with a longer game like Deus Ex, which if you read in the article says only about 25% of the players finished,
right,
but it's hailed as one of these great games, like what does this mean?
Right. The article also states that 36% of people actually finish the original Bioshock game, and most of us love Bioshock.
Right.
So why is a small percentage? These stats come particularly from Steam, but even through that, why is there a small percentage of people who actually finish?
Right, and if you go onto Steam reviews, everyone bases games and how you buy them off of how many thumbs up they have or thumbs down, and you can tell that there are definitely more than 35% of players voting thumbs up for this game.
Right.
And then one of the article topics is about does not finishing a game matter? And if this is the case, yes, because you're taking the top percentage of game players who actually complete games, dictating the movement of where games will go in the future.
Right. So I think finishing a game matters. I believe it matters for a financial reason. Why did you pay $60 for a game that you just didn't finish, right?
Why did you pre-order Witcher 3 if you haven't even beaten it yet?
Right. Like, literally, I want to kick myself extra hard for all the games that I bought. Day of release, 60 plus. Some games dropped 80 because I wanted the limited edition. Never finished them. And so it's just like, how much money has gone left unplayed?
They know what's up, the video game industry. They don't care that we don't finish the games. They just want the payout. And they get it. But for everyone that puts the hard work into it and really thinks about those storyboards, like, what are we doing for them by not finishing these games?
Right, because there are a lot of games out there strictly made with the intent that people finish them. They're able to get through them. But say if there are people out there that just never finish The Wolf Among Us, even though it's meant to be a short narrative game.
Right.
How do you feel?
How do you feel? Let us know in the comments below how you feel about not finishing games or why you don't finish games.
Or just tweet at us. I'm very, very active with our Twitter account, so just tweet directly and then boom, we get a response. So yeah, I'm very, very interested.
I'm also very interested. This topic turned out to be much more interesting than I originally thought it was going to be. Right,
but now I'm kind of sad because there's so many games left unfinished. Okay, guys, peace out.